Okay, let's hop right into our Clean at Sephora look. I have two primers I want to mention. Both are Clean at Sephora verified. I have the Ilia True Skin Priming Serum. This is great if you don't prefer a silicone in your primer. And then this other one is the First Aid Beauty Hello Fab Coconut Skin Smoothie Priming Moisturizer. This does have silicone in it, but it's pretty far down on the list. So it doesn't really feel like a silicone-based primer. It just feels like a really nice moisturizer. So today I'm actually going to be taking the First Aid Beauty one because I really want a luminous base. Taking a little bit on my hand, that was actually a lot, but we'll work with it. And I got it in my hair. Nice. That's where... Okay, these rings are not gonna work. Just gonna go ahead and spread this on my face. I love how this feels on my skin. It like feels so moisturizing. Also gives a really pretty glow. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it just is a really nice base for makeup. If you want something really glowy but not too oily, just a beautiful product. Moving on to foundation, I actually have 4 different ones I want to mention here. All are sort of different finishes and for different skin types. So I have 4 here. Like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and start with the lightest coverage one. I'm not gonna use all of these, but I did want to mention them because they're all on Sephora. This is the Kosas Tinted Face Oil. They do have this in store with the new Clean Beauty little end caps. So if you guys were curious about the shades, it's a great way to go in and test out your shade. Kosas also offers little samples online of this, which I think is nice, so you can try out a couple different shades. I have the 103. I have a review of this on my channel. It's not really a good quality video, but it's on my channel if you want my in-depth review of this. But this has the lightest coverage. It is a tinted oil, more of like a tinted moisturizer type of vibe. The other one is the Ilia True Skin Serum Foundation. I don't even have to say anything about this because you guys know I absolutely love this foundation. It gives the most beautiful skin-like finish that I haven't found in any other foundation I've tried. It's truly worth the money. I can't get enough of this. I use this as like my everyday foundation. I use the shade SF2 in this, and it's just a beautiful formula. Also smells really good, which I know is kind of weird for makeup, but it's a nice product. This does contain silicone, by the way. The Kosas one does not, so if you're looking for a silicone-free option, that one's nice. And then the other one I just picked up, this is from CoverFX. It's their Power Play foundation. I got the shade N35. This is one of those sort of not super clean foundations, but it is a cleaner option. And it's kind of funny, CoverFX has like always been a clean brand, but now that like clean beauty sort of becoming more popular and it's more of like a marketable term, they're starting to, you know, at Sephora, they're bringing out their Clean at Sephora verified products and things like that. But this is a nice foundation. I've actually only been able to test this out once so far, but I did like it. This is a matte finish, so out of all the ones, if you're looking for a matte, more longer wearing foundation, if you have oily skin, I think this is a nice option. Like I said, I haven't tested out a ton, but so far I have been enjoying it. The last one I have here, which is the one I'm going to use today, is the Lila B Be Natural Marvelous Matte Cream Foundation. That's the shade Be Natural. I actually really like this, and I don't know why I don't use it more. Again, one of those sort of like mid-range clean products where it's not super pure in its ingredients, but it is free of like those main toxins. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab a dense brush for this because that's my favorite way to apply it. I actually have the brush for this. Let me find it. I'm just gonna take this with the brush. This is like the retractable little kabuki foundation brush. And just like to apply this to my face. Foundation offers a really solid medium buildable to full coverage, which is why I like it. It's definitely one of the most full coverage foundations I own, but it still feels really weightless on the skin, and I think the finish is just beautiful. I think this is the only cream foundation I own, but I really enjoy it, so maybe I'll pick up some other cream formulas. If you guys have tried cream foundations and like any, let me know what your favorites are. I'm actually going to switch over to a Real Techniques Expert Face Brush just because it has a little bit more surface area to get this blended out quicker. And I would say definitely my preferred way to apply this is with a dense brush like this. You just get really good coverage and the best finish in my opinion. As I mentioned, you can build this foundation up, but I'm going to leave it like this. Just did a really good job at evening out my skin tone. And it has a really natural, I would say skin-like finish. Depends how you prep. If you did it with an oil, it would be more of like a satin finish, but on me it just is like the perfect finish. I really love it. You can set it down with powder. You can also leave it how it is just for a natural skin finish. So I have two concealers here to mention. I'm actually gonna use both. First is the Ilia True Skin Serum Concealer in SF2. This is another one of my favorite products from Ilia. I love this for blemishes. I feel like it has really great ingredients, so it doesn't make my blemishes worse. I feel like it actually kind of just like helps my skin a little bit. Like, I don't know if I'm just making that up, but I really enjoy this. Also smells really good like the foundation does. And it has, again, a really beautiful natural finish. So when you put it on blemishes, it doesn't cling to any of that dryness that can occur, and it just, I feel like the finish is just unbelievably beautiful for any sort of problem areas. So I actually like to let this sit on my face before I blend it out for the most coverage. I don't know if I said it, but I have the shade SC1 Chicory. This is also another one of the products they have in store at Sephora, so if you were curious about that, you can check that out there. And then the other product, this is in store as well. This is the Cover FX Power Play Concealer. I have the shade N Light 1. And this I definitely prefer over the Ilia one for under my eyes. I think it just creases a little bit less. I do use the Ilia one sometimes if I want a little bit more of a neutral shade. This concealer I just like to focus, sorry about that. This concealer I also like to let set on my face for a little bit before I blend it out for more coverage. So while my under eye is set, I'm gonna go in and blend out the Ilia concealer on those problem areas. Now that that's blended out, I'm gonna go in and blend out my under eye concealer. Now to set my under eye, I'm gonna use the Ilia Soft Focus Finishing Powder, Fade Into You. This is also just another great product that I use all the time. This gives you a really nice natural finish to your skin. It's not super matte or drying. I feel like that's kind of the theme with all of Ilia's products, is that they give you a really natural skin-like finish that doesn't really look like makeup, which is why I really enjoy the brand. So I'm gonna go ahead and set my under eyes and probably the rest of my face with this as well. I actually have a little set on Sephora that I saw that's a mini version of this and the priming serum. So if you guys were curious, that's like a cute little set to pick up. I'm gonna go ahead and take a setting brush here and set my face. Now for bronzer, I have another product here from Lila B. This is their Be Sun-Kissed Bronze Beauty Little Duo. I have hit pan on this. I've had this for a while. This product is very warm toned, so it's a little bit hard to work with if you have fair skin. Like, just make sure not to go overboard because it can show up sort of orange on your skin if you don't use a light hand, is what I'm trying to say. But anyway, this is a really nice bronzer. They also have the Kosas Tropic Equinox online, which is a lovely cream bronzer if you would prefer that. I'm just going to very lightly swirl my brush into this. I like to mix both the colors. I'm going to start blending this on my face. Now for blush, I have two options I wanted to mention. First is the new RMS Beauty Pressed Blush. I have the shade Pressed, almost said Pressed Angel, Lost Angel, which is a coral pink with a little bit of a golden sheen to it. These are a really nice soft powder. And I also have the Antonym Highlighting Blush Cheek Crush, which I mentioned this in my favorites video, which you guys know, it's a favorite. I love this. So I'm actually gonna go with the Antonym one just because I feel like the base is pretty matte and I want something a little bit more glowy. So I'm gonna take a fluffy brush with this and apply this to my cheeks. Moving on to highlight, I actually have two options for this as well. I have the Lila B Glistening Glow Illuminator, and then I also have the RMS Living Luminizer. I have the RMS Living Luminizer. The Lila B one is a little bit more, it's a really dry powder, and it also has a little bit more of that, not really chunky shimmer, but it's a little bit more noticeable on the skin. The RMS one is definitely more creamy and dewy. So I think I actually might use both of these. I'm gonna start with the RMS Living Luminizer, just for my cheekbones. They also have these in store, and I saw they had the like the other shades of them, but for some reason my store is like missing the display, so I couldn't swatch them, but I did see them there. And I'm gonna take the Lila B one, just tap that on top of that. So that's it for our base. I actually don't have any products clean at Sephora for brows, so I'm gonna go ahead and do them off camera, and I will be back and we'll start getting the eyeshadow. Alright, so I put on some brows. Moving on to our eye look, I'm gonna use the Aether Beauty Rose Quartz Crystal Gemstone palette. They don't have this one in store, they have it online, but they do have the new Summer Solstice one in store that I saw and swatched, which is really pretty. But I did mention before, I just got the Ilia Warm palette, and I feel like that has more shades that I would use. I think it's a pretty palette, but I just wish there was some more matte shades. I don't know, but I just wish there's a little bit more matte shades so it was more usable in my everyday life. This one's really pretty, but I really rarely use it because like there's only 4 matte shades and 3 of them are pretty deep and cool tone, and you guys know I like to do neutral and warm tones for my everyday looks. But I'm gonna go ahead and actually play with this a little bit. We're gonna do sort of like this bluish area over here. I want to play with these because I haven't used these in a while, but these are a great option if you're looking for like a nice product to splurge on, and if you use a lot of metallics or you use tones like these, I think it is a pretty palette. I'm just gonna start with this matte brown shade because every eye look needs a transition shade, am I right? Alright, next I'm going to dip into this light purplish blue matte shade and start to blend that into my crease. Get these cool tones going. Next up, I'm going to dip into this darkest matte grayish blue to deepen up my crease. These are really soft shadows, so I have quite a lot of kickback in the palette, but they do blend nicely. Okay, after much blending, I think I'm happy with how this is looking so far. For our lid shade, I think I'm going to dip into this shade right here, which is just a pretty silver with a lot of blue undertones to it. I'm going to use my finger for this because I feel like the metallics definitely apply better with your finger. And I'm just going to pat this on my lid, sort of keeping it towards the first half of my eye because I want to keep some of that smokiness out there. I'm also going to go ahead and top it with this sort of duochrome blue that they have in the middle. These shadows are kind of weird to work with. They're really dry and they don't have like a ton of pigment to them, so I think you really have to build them up, but they do have a cool shift to them. Alright, and then for my inner corners, I'm going to take this lightest metallic color, just a little bit of a pink shift to it. So I think I'm going to stop there with the eye look and move on to eyeliner. I'm going to use the Antonym Brown eyeliner. I think this is like the only pencil eyeliner they have in the clean section. I'm just going to pop this on my waterline. It's so hard to talk and do that. Okay, I think I'm done with the eyeshadow now, finally. I'm going to go ahead and finish up with the mascara. I don't have one from Sephora. You know, they carry the Ilia Limitless Lash, which I've heard good things about if you are interested in that. But yeah, let me put on mascara and I'll be back and we will jump to the lips. Okay, for our lips today, I have this Bite Beauty, what is this called? A Muse Bouge lipstick in Honeycomb. I actually got this a while ago and I haven't really used it a lot on my channel. That's why I wanted to pull it out. It's just a really pretty pink nude. I also have a little bit of a glossy product to go over this. I'm just going to apply this. Now to top that off, I have 2 of the Lila B. These are their Be Lovingly Lip Oils. Really like these. I did like a little Instagram video with these. I'm going to mix Be Elegant and Be Romantic. This one's more of a cool nude. This is a really light baby pink. These are great if you like the look of a lip gloss, but you don't like any like stickiness or tackiness on your lips, because they really do just feel like a really moisturizing sort of lip treatment. Alright, here is our finished look. I feel a little bit weird wearing cool tones, but I think it's really pretty. I think the look came together nicely with all these Clean at Sephora products. I'm going to zoom you out and me just outro. Alright guys, that was it for my Clean at Sephora makeup look. Let me know what you think of it in the comments below. Also let me know if you've tried anything from Clean at Sephora, what your favorites are, what you'd love to see me test out. I'd love to hear from you guys. Also don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It really helps me out. So thank you again, and I will see you in my next video.